name is Alex Wiederholt, and my informative speech today will be over the motorsport of tractor pulling. Tractor pulling is an exciting motorsport in my opinion. My family's been in it for at least 4 decades. We currently have a pulling tractor. I've been a spectator as long as I can remember, and I've helped out for a pulling tractor for 3 or 4 years now. We're going to go over a few things about it, like history, a couple of basic rules so you get an understanding, stuff like that. So first off, before we talk about anything in depth, I need to go over the rules with you a little bit so you can understand what this sport's all about. First off, there's a track about 300 foot long by 30 foot wide approximately. It can vary a little bit. Most tracks are either 300 foot long or 310, one of the two, and anywhere from 30 to 50 foot wide. 30 is just a minimum. This is all from the National Tractor Pulling Association's website, by the way. They have a sled, which, as you see here, has a box of weight, and you put 2,000 pound bricks of weight in each time, and it has a gear which runs the length of this whole vehicle. And what it does is the farther the track you go, the more it pushes down this pan, which has little cleats inside it. And what that does is it amplifies the weight. It makes exponentially more the farther you go. So even though there's only 50,000 pounds of weight here, by the end of the track, it can simulate as much as 300,000 pounds of resistance. Anybody that goes past the full pull mark, which depending on the track is 300 or 310 feet, gets to go to a pull-off where the sled is re-weighted, and after that the farthest pull wins, which that's out the gate. You can go anything after that. I've seen people go out the gate to 350 feet before, 370. After that, it's just anything goes. If you go out of bounds on side sides, you're disqualified. Once you stop, you're done, which there is a flagman that has stop and go flags, which are green and red, that he'll tell you whenever you're done, whether it be from disqualification or if you're done as far as just can't go any farther. Now you understand the sport a little bit. I'll tell you its origins. The history of this sport is about as old as farmers have been using anything to pull implements other than themselves. They've had horse pulls, they've had steam engine pulls, but anymore it's tractor pulls because that's what's popular. Early on, it was stock tractors. Farmers just wanted bragging rights to see whose tractor could pull the most. They'd just get a group of people, nothing organized, and just pull a rudimentary sled that was just filled with stones or anything heavy they could find, which is a good example back then. Towards like the 60s and 70s, they got a little bit more sophisticated. They started turning up tractors and making them modified to the point where they couldn't be used for farm use anymore. And that's a good example. That was back probably circa 1970. And that's pretty well the beginning of modern tractor pulling. So now we go on to some of the different classes and some of the stuff that's going on today. Today there's an assortment of classes you can pull in, from lawnmowers to stock tractors to 3,000 horsepower tractors that have 5 engines and have wheel speeds of up to 120 miles an hour. According to Ed Walker, who is the safety technician for the Nebraska bush pullers, he went over what the classes are divided in, which a class is basically a group of tractors that basically weights them to where they're equal, so it's a good equal competition. Some of the things they divide them by would be the vehicle's weight, the engine, which the size of the engine, the fuel type, whether it's gas, diesel, or a turbine engine, what kind of forced induction they have, whether it's supercharged, turbocharged, naturally aspirated, how big of a turbocharger it has on it, number of engines on vehicles. Most have only one engine, but in some of the modified classes they can have as many engines as you can get on there as long as you can get it underweight. They also divide it by number of drive wheels, which 2 or 4-wheel drive is the most common. Wheel size and frame type, which frame type would be whether it's considered a tractor, a truck, or a modified frame, which once again, modified, anything goes. I've talked to a friend of mine, his name's Chris Mines, he's from Pickerel. He pulls in the Nebraska bush pullers with us, and he says that one of the biggest rushes, and adrenaline rushes, is driving a tractor like this. He said nothing compares to it. So I thought I would show you an example of what a typical run looks like from a GoPro camera, which is a driver's first-person view of one of the Nebraska bush pullers 4.1 limited pro stock tractors. Which here's an example of one of the modern tractors. Which this happens to be my family's tractor. That loud shriek's the turbocharger. That is not healthy for a normal one that's built to run like that. It's about 5,000 RPMs right there, which if you know what that means, that's quite impressive. Well, that's about all I have. I hope you learned something about this topic. Thank you for listening.